So a few little things left to do on the big green Pontiac, and the next one, shut the buzzer up, the next one involves the gearbox. Let me show you what it's doing. I'll start her up. And just because I told you it would do it now, it probably won't, but if I select drive, foot is off the brake, parking brake is off. There we go, and now all of a sudden we move. There's quite a delay. So I do have a bit of a gearbox leak. So we're going to fix that today. So the gearbox on this is a TH350, fits a lot of American stuff. So because it fits a lot of American cars, parts aren't too bad. I managed to get hold of a Wix filter kit, which is gasket and the metal filter, for about £15 in the UK. Readily available, loads of them there, job done. And I've got some ATF, which I think I got from one of our suppliers, and fits a lot of gearboxes, as you can see. So I need to get the car up in the air on the ramp, and I'll show you how to change gearbox oil and filter and fix my leak. Here we are, here's our gearbox. You can see how bad the leak is. It is absolutely caked in oil. The good thing is, it's very clean oil. So I'm actually going to try and save a lot of this to put in my Peugeot. Got a bracket here for the gear change cable, so we've got to remember to put that back in. You can see actually there's a little drip on the end there. It's a nice cherry red colour, just the colour you want for your gearbox oil. It should be fairly simple. I'm going to undo all these bolts now, and we'll drop the sump. Annoyingly, there's no drain bung, I've just noticed. So I'm going to get in a bit of a mess. So all the sump bolts are out, and you can see they've all got this kind of sealant on them. And I then realised that there is sealant. That's not a gasket, that is sealant oozing out from the pan. So I now need to get a scraper or a big wide screwdriver and very carefully try and, might even be able to get a blade in there, but very carefully try and break that seal without bending the pan. If I bend the pan, then the new gasket's not going to seal, and we're going to end up in, well, with a leaky gearbox still, and I'll have to buy a new pan. I think I'll do this bit off camera. I'll come back to you when the pan's off. Okay, it wasn't actually too bad. It did actually peel off all right. I've got a bit of cleaning up to do. I may have made a bit of a mess on the floor, but not as bad as it could have been. It's all right, I've got a bit of a cleanup operation here, and then we'll look at putting the new sump back on. Right, I've gone around the edges and I've cleaned all of the sealant off, and you can see there's bits of it in there I'm going to have to clean up. I've also got to clean the edges of this up in a moment. But first, I need to undo this. So all we've got in here is two flathead screws, which I'm just going to undo, and probably when I undo, oh, they're quite short. There we are. Right, that's on the floor. Probably when this comes off, it's going to make a mess. I'm hoping I don't need two hands. Hopefully they haven't sealed this one. Right, there's the other screw. Let's not drop this one on the floor. Right, now if I take the filter off, it's going to probably make a mess, so I'm going to stand back. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. So yeah, that is the actual filter element. Oh, they have put sealant in it. Ah, so there's supposed to be a gasket here, which I've got a new one. I'll go under here. I don't want to go right under because it'll get covered in gearbox oil. There's supposed to be a gasket here, and they didn't have one, so they've just put sealant on that as well. Nice shiny oil pan. Managed to go around with my little 3M tool and a green pad, which actually took all the stuff off quite easily. So gasket is definitely the right one. Lines up, all the holes line up nice. It's a little bit out of shape, so I've just left it there. That's that bit. Next thing I need to do is put the new filter in. So, as I suspected, there is a gasket that will go on like that. This will be a two-handed job because I'm going to have to try and line the gasket, the filter, and the two screws up with the gearbox. Wish me luck. Well, that went in easier than I thought it would. Fluke. So, next thing, I need to clean up the bolts actually first. Clean up the bolts, shove the pan on. Right, back on the floor, and if I pull the dipstick out, we should have absolutely no oil on it, just a bit of residue. So, on the end of the dipstick, I don't know if you can read it, it says full hot, so that is our level when the engine's hot. Check in park, transmission hot, engine idling, vehicle level, use Dextron automatic transfluid only, which is exactly what we're using. So I'm going to put some oil in until the level is sort of around there, and then I'll start her up, go through all the gear positions, we'll let it warm up a bit, and then check the level with the engine idling while it's hot. Right, so we're all filled up, just over the max. Shouldn't be a problem once it's all bled through the system. Back in park. So, foot on the brake, and then we're just going to run through the gears, and it should take up, should hear the revs drop. There you go. It's still taking a bit of time, so wait for the fluid to get through the system. I just noticed we've got sport mode. Never noticed that before. Right, and then we'll go back up again. I might add, I don't actually know if you need to do this. I just know you need to do this on all the Jags. It definitely takes up drive quicker. You can hear that. If I go, we're in park, let's go to drive. Takes up drive pretty much straight away, so I'm going to let it warm up and then we'll recheck the level. Right, we're all warmed up, so let's grab a rag, try and do this one-handed. It's not easy to see the colour, to see the level, it's clean oil, but right, so there's no oil on there at all. There we are, you can see it at the bottom. So we are just at the bottom there. We're not fully hot, so the fact that there is some oil on the dipstick, I'm happy with that. So I think what we're going to do now is take it for a drive. I haven't got a great deal of fuel, so I would normally quite happily let her run all the way up to temperature before checking, because obviously as the oil gets hot it expands. Can't do that today, like I said, but it should be enough that it'll drive. So straight into gear, straight into reverse. Only issue I do have is I'm off the brakes at the moment and I've got seized. My front brakes are a bit stuck on, so it's a little bit annoying. That's actually worse than I thought. And the issue I've got is that. So maybe I won't drive it because I'm on my own here, so. Oh, it might be alright. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Into reverse. No, there there we go. I think we might even be out of fuel. That'll be frustrating. Right, we'll save the test drive for another day because I think we're nearly out of fuel. So I'm going to get back in the workshop. Yeah, we're out of fuel. So I shall bring a jerry can and we'll maybe do a test drive next week. Anywho, many thanks for watching. Hope this has been educational and helped some people. It is actually not too bad a job to do. I do also have, so this is residue from earlier, I do also have an engine oil leak that I need to look at. That's coming from the engine sump, which I probably won't do a video on because I'll probably do that at work. Yeah. Many thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.